And I now invite Mr. Farooq Bhai Patel to present a memento to Ms. Meghna Tarakia, Managing Partner, Veer Value Ventures LLP, the lead investor to the issue. Once again, heartiest congratulations to everyone at KP Energy.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you all. First, I would like to congratulate to Mr. Farooq Bhai and Mr. Ashish Bhai for the successful listing. I just want to say something that last month we were just sitting around in the office and Manish told me that he was studying this company called KP Energy. While studying, he was so happy and excited about it that he told me that I just want to invest in this company. And here the day came. So again, I would like to wish a very good luck and best wishes to Mr. Farooq Bhai and Mr. Ashish Bhai for your future growth. Thank you. Thank you very much.
None other than Mr. Manish Tarakia. And this stage is incomplete without hearing him. I humbly request him to come on the dais and share his views why he has trusted us, why he has invested on us. Please, he is our biggest investor.
Mr. Manish Tarakia and his father, Mr. Praveen Bhai Tarakia, are both primary investors, and we must acknowledge them. We'd like to facilitate Mr. Manish Tarakia and Mr. Praveen Bhai Tarakia with bouquets. We would also like to acknowledge and felicitate two other investors, Dr. Sanjay Sangvi and Mr. Chetan Shah. Dr. Sanjay Sangvi. On behalf of KP Energy, our heartiest gratitude to our lead investors. And now I'd like to hand over to Mr. Manish Tarakia to share a few words.
I thought, let me bring my owner, my father, so I brought him. He owns me, though I own some shares of this company. And I thank my wife also. She spared money for investment. At last moment, she also gave 21 lakhs more by redeeming her fixed deposit, so I could invest furthermore. Well, this is a platform where I have grown. I was coming here in '84, and it's really overwhelming thing for me as well as it is for the KP Energy. Investing itself is a journey, as a journey for the company, any company. We have to experiment our own research, our own talent of analyzing a company, business model, promoters, government policies. There are a lot of influencing factors like foreign fund coming in and investing in a company, foreign fund selling the stocks and going away. We have to learn from all that. Companies have no such sensitivity. They have absolutely no wherewithals to deal with such things, especially SME. And as a investment banking community and community which belongs to Bombay Stock Exchange and now National Stock Exchange as well, country has enough of financial resources available within India itself, and I am hopeful that even retail investors also would come back. These are the platform for them. Surely SEBI is working on it, BSE is working, NSE is working. Ashish Bhai has been giving so many lectures to attract small investors back, and I'm sure they will come back. With these few words, I have to say why I have invested in this company. If I can say, there are cameras, so you can zoom here. This is Mr. Piyush Goyal's interview, which was published in last year. It was published on October 26, 2015. Mr. Piyush Goyal is our energy minister. He's clearly said that our investment thrust will be totally skewed towards renewables, and it is loud and clear. And we are very, very particular that we don't give any approval for the fossil fuel based power plants. There was a time, my brother Kishore Bhai Ajmera is here, who brought me to the stock market along with Mr. Nemish Shah, who is the founder of Enam. I'm standing here only because of Mr. Nemish Shah. There was a time that we used to invest in Tata Power. There was no other power company. Tata Power was the power company. Today, the relevance has changed. Today, we can't afford to pollute our environment. It is costing us more. The ocean is getting more heat than the earth. So, the monsoon clouds go towards ocean and not on the earth. It's a basic problem. That's happening because of the carbon emissions from these power plants, mainly coal-based power plants. We have to work on it, and country has gone long way. Government has also done a lot of things. Mr. Narendra Modi is also very, very focused on renewable energy. Every international forum he has been claiming of renewable energies and India's active involvement in it. If you can zoom on this, this is from the ministry. This is from the ministry. If you see, this is the wind footprint of India. So far, whatever wind installations has been done is done on this region, which is essentially a southwest monsoon map. If you see, it is just the same. And KP Energy very much is in Gujarat. So I have every reasons to invest in this company. As everybody has said, there is a gap of power needs in India and production, and wherever power is available also, our consumption is just 800 units, US is 10,000 units. We are way behind power consumption, and power drives everything. Trust me, if there is no power, these GDPs and this life will stop, these GDPs will stop, this world will stop. And out of three major sources of renewable energy, solar, waste to energy and wind. Solar has too much complications. Second thing, solar you produce somewhere, you have to take the power to places of consumption. There is a lot of grid loss. There is a lot of investment in grid. Waste to energy, there is a lot of upfront investments. There is no problem with that, but it requires at least 200 million, 300 million. $40 million is one size of one unit. Hitachi Zoen provides such kind of turbines. What they call is, pardon me. So those turbines are very costly. Here, just for the 14 crores, you have one wind turbine. So it's very, very economical and very smart. India is a capital scarce country. We have to go with this. And execution capability, which was a big issue in this country. I was so keen. My friend Jigar is here from stock market. We used to study a lot on this kind of companies. NEPC Micon was one of the first one in India which started and which was booked, like how Ashish Bhai is claiming that he has no time for 4 years, 3 years. Mr. Khemka used to say that I have no time, I will not take your order for 2 years. In fact, that was a statement which motivated Tulsi Bhai Tanti to enter this business, and he created Suzlon out of it. So there are huge demands. What was the lacking, why the companies were failing, is the execution capabilities. You have to identify the wind sites correctly. Earlier it was just, the proposition was just sold as a tax benefit. Today it is power generation proposal. Somebody would just buy a wind farm just to take a tax shelter. It's no more the case now. That's what I have seen in this offer document, which Aryaman has done exceedingly well. The disclosures are so good. Most of the detail which I am now trying to narrate and glimpse is printed here. It's part of the offer document. It's there in the summary of business. Other thing which I observed, in this wind turbines as such, wind power based projects, there is a certainty of cash flow. The pricing which they get is 4 rupees 15 paisa. There are different prices, different state has a different price. As a customer, we pay 6 rupees, 7 rupees. So there is a margin for governments. There is no need for government subsidy. Like solar, there were power purchase agreement for 16 rupees also. And consumer was paying 7. The gap was funded by government for some time. This cannot go on for long. One has to understand as an investor, government can do whatever they want. As an investor, we can't do. We can't take chances. Government subsidy will go. Even Warren Buffett says that any business which is based on government favoritism or policies will never sustain. This is a company which is not on government subsidy as such. I found them on their own arithmetics and on their own economics. They have profits, they have demonstrated in the balance sheet, which was very much printed here. One more thing, I observed about their nitty-gritty of their integrated operation. They have their own substations. How smart they're playing, Well, in India, there are issues which this audience would not know much. See, the power is generated by somebody, it's consumed by all of us, it's transported by, government agencies, which is Power Grid Corporation. Here we have Prakashgarh. If you know Bandra, there is a big building, Prakashgarh. They are the load balancer. They source the load from either from wind or from coal. They balance. They wheel it to the grid. So they have to have arrangement to meet them. In fact, there is a vision somewhere written that by 2017, even renewable wind also will be grid compatible. Which is, compatibility. Everybody knows compatibility. Like husband and wife are compatible, like that. Of course, execution he has demonstrated so well. Another thing, I liked about it was the utilization of fund. The IPO funds were going purely for creating this turbine at Matalpur. This was absolutely perfect utilization of funds, and it was an indication to the stock market or to investing community that this company is now changing the course. So far they were like turnkey providers of solutions. Somebody wants wind turbine. He will request, Suzlon will give them equipment, he will erect, will the power and hand over the equipment to the owner. They will earn the EPC margin. Just like a real estate developer who will erect a building and hand over, take his margin. That was a model which earlier people also followed, and that's how there was no sustainable big company in wind energy in India. Despite such a huge wind resource we have, it's a natural resource, it's free. And we are blessed with nature that we have such a wind year over year, months over months, day in day. It's free, there is no cost. And it was not getting harnessed properly. Now this company is harnessing, there are a few other companies also which are harnessing, but they are not in public domain. So when it was turning it to independent power producers, that attracted my attention. I like this, and I have invested because there is an asset ownership. There are not thousands of wind farms all over the world, installed in US and Europe and Scandinavian countries. They are controlled by 5 or 6 companies. The companies' balance sheets are so huge, and there is a certainty of revenue. In every country there is certainty. In India, the life of turbine is 25 years. This revenue is assured to them for 25 years. Now if I give you an example of this turbine which they have installed from Suzlon, spreadsheet, doesn't require too much of an arithmetics. You see, this is S94 is the turbine, Suzlon, which has been very much published in this offer document. It's a 2.1 megawatt turbine, which means per 1 hour it will generate 2.1 megawatt. So in a day, 50.4, so and at a plant load factor, which we have assumed 29. It's an assumption. They have delivered 27 to whatever they claim. So if we convert into number of kilowatts, is 14,600 kilowatts. So rate is 4.15. So per day 60,600 is the revenue. If you convert it to annual revenue, is 2 crore 21 lakhs. Minus 10% for operational cost. Actually there is no cost, wind is free. Still we assume that there is some maintenance and all. So around 2 crores is something, is a net revenue from this turbine. If I am wrong, I can be terribly wrong, and I think then I need to go back to schools. Thank you, Farooq Bhai. This is a correct arithmetic. So 2 crore rupees is a revenue which goes straight to the balance sheet, profit and loss account. In this country, we have a taxation benefit given to renewable energy, whether it is solar or power or whatever. Under section 80IA, the profits of the company, or revenue generated from wind power, whether company generates it or Hemant generates it or anybody generates it, it's not taxed. 10 years there is no tax. So for this 2 crore per year is tax free to them. Am I correct? There is eminent chartered accountant here who will also confirm. Now see, they have so many wind sites. The CRISIL reports clearly says they have 123 wind sites, which is written in prospectus also. Now this wind sites, they have a tie-up with Suzlon, which is another magnet which attracted to me, that Suzlon will get a buyer for them in case they want to sell. They will erect, they have identified the site. Suzlon will get a buyer, they will erect, commission and give it to the buyer, and they will create EPC margin. Now, they have a choice to develop their own also. They own the asset. If they can raise the capital and debt, matching debt, they can own it themselves, they need not sell. So there is a possibility which I saw that the company can have more. Suppose I assume that out of this 123 sites, which they have mentioned in the prospectus, that there are spots where 156 megawatt is already ready and 71.40 megawatt is under acquisition. So total is 228 megawatts and 2.1 turbine only if I install. Of course there are new generation Suzlon like S11 and all is coming, which are much larger, which can generate higher output, higher plant load factor, but let's not assume that. Let's assume this S94 only, 97 only. So about 110 or 100 turbines company can own also. That amounts to huge number. If you take even 10 numbers of turbines, 2 crore is 20 crores. 20 crores per annum, tax free. On what capital base? Capital is just 34 lakhs. 34 lakhs? 3 crore 40 lakhs. Shripal is so accurate with the numbers. See where the EPS can go. So these are things, these are the possibilities. Not that it may happen. It may happen here and there. But the margin of safety is so much. As an investment professionals, we always see margin of safety. Warren Buffett also, when he analyzes any balance sheet or any company, margin of safety criteria is applied first. Then valuation criteria are applied. During my early days, I used to analyze what Nimish Shah has invested. I used to analyze what he has invested. I have always observed margin of safety was the main criteria which was always highlighted in his investments. I could see all his early investment like LMW or Myco or MRF. There was huge margin of Madras Cement. Those were the times where there was no research. There was no R of research in this stock market. There was all speculation. And here was my senior who was doing all this, and it was visible in his investment strategies. So margin of safety is something which this company has. That has attracted me. I think I have spoken enough, nothing much. The rest is history. Let the company perform well. I wish them good luck. Basically it's the CRISIL's report, which is very, very analyzed. It has given a lot of reference to the world global companies as well. And their rating of 3 also has influenced my decision. I wish I'm right.